One of the most common questions I get asked by golfers is how they can play more consistent golf, about why they can play a hole beautifully and then the very next hole do absolutely terribly, about why on the driving range they stripe it down into the distance and yet here on the course they fall apart. So in this video, that is what we are going to be looking at, but it has nothing to do with changing technique. It is something which you can control every single round. However, it takes courage and it takes discipline to do. And I don't think that a lot of you watching this are going to be able to have that conviction and the resolve to actually go out on the course and complete the tasks that I and Tiger Woods are going to set for you today. So guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube as quickly as possible. We'd love you to become part of the community, so hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell icon if you do want to be notified of new videos. I've also got a new video filmed, which is on one of the best clubs to be released in the last few years. If you want to see that video, make sure you hit the like button. Once it gets to 5K likes, we will drop that next video. Now, today's lesson is brought to you by myself, but more importantly and more temptingly, by Tiger Woods. Now, many people acknowledge that Tiger Woods hit the ball amazing. His driving was supreme. His putting and short game were excellent. But his biggest strength on the golf course is what was going on between his ears. His mental ability whilst playing in competition and throughout the entirety of his career so far has been absolutely mind-blowing. Now, let me tell you something about consistency. It is, most of the time, a myth. Golf is truly a game of chaos, and only the very best players in the world manage to play perfectly, perhaps a dozen times throughout their entire career. We could be talking decades. Something which you get the impression of when you watch TV coverage is that pro golfers just hit amazing shots all the time. This is not true. I've spent time at events and these are amazing players. However, they still hit some truly dreadful golf shots. So don't get lulled into thinking that even the best players in the world are playing consistent golf all the time. To steal a line from a book, golf is not a game of perfect. So the only thing that you have control over in golf is how you think about shots, but more importantly, how you react to shots. If you want more information on a pre-shot routine, make sure you click this video here and you can get all the information that you want. But this is about what is going to be happening after you've hit, because that is truly an area that you can control more than any other. So if you have a look at this shot here, I'm hitting over a little bunker. It's a tricky one. I've got to land it at the front of the green and then let it run down to the hole. So I can go through my pre-shot routine about where I want it to land and all the rest of it. Now, I can focus on this shot and I can be really, in the zone, but I can still have the ability to hit a dodgy one. Running off the other side of the green, not ideal. But this is where Tiger and some of the other pros have a wonderful technique to help deal with that disappointment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick a line out in front of me. Let's say, I don't know, it's a couple yards on around here. Now that's going to be called the line of no return. Once I go past that line, I can no longer think or dwell on the shot that has just gone. So in my little space here, I'm going to be, oh God, I'm not happy about that shot. But once I get past this point, it's gone. I can leave it over here to disappear, to dissipate in the summer breeze. By the time I've got to my next shot, that's what I'm going to be refocused on. I'm not thinking about this one anymore. Because guys, be honest about this. How often have you got to your next shot and still been dwelling on what has just happened? Not only the shot after, but maybe the hole after, potentially even the day after. Consistency is not about hitting the ball perfectly. Consistency is about being able to play golf in the present without being hindered by the shots of the past. Oh, that didn't be good. Everything I said still stands, even though that didn't go in. Now, the reason I know this technique works well is although everyone can have rubbish days on the course where they'll be drawing lines everywhere, over the course of a season, by leaving the bad shots in the past, you'll be able to focus more on the shots that matter and enjoy playing more. In other words, if you bundle up all your bad shots within a year and you can put them to one side and not think about them and leave them in the past, just think how much freer and how much more you're going to enjoy your golf moving forwards. And if you enjoy your golf and you're able to play with more freedom, you will become more consistent. You will play better golf. Yes, you're still going to have bad days. Everybody does, but you're not going to dwell on them as much. And that's why I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to play more consistent golf if you adopt this approach. So here's how you can apply this practically when you're on the golf course. I've only got a little pitch shot here. I can't actually summon my body to hit it any further than this at the moment. But I start my pre-shot routine here behind the golf ball. I've selected the club, I'm looking at the shot, and I'm imagining the type of ball flight that I want to see. So everything pre-shot is happening here. I move into the ball, have my practice swings, but once I'm over the ball and once I've hit, I'm going to give up the control that I want to try and apply. Remember, golf is chaos. Well, for a pitch, that's pretty disappointing. A long way right, nowhere near the hole, not one of my best. So I'm just going to allow myself here a moment to go, well, that's not ideal. But club will go back in the bag, go past the line, and then everything about this shot stays over here. Bad juju over here, rest of the course and happiness this way. Now the next part of this, a more advanced part of this technique, if you wanted to call it that, is when you play with your scorecard. Every time you still think of a bad shot after you've hit it, just make a little mark on the scorecard. By the end of the round, see how many marks you've got, and then the next round try and beat it. It's an amazing way to actually understand how you're thinking and to try and beat yourself. Honestly, give it a go, it's brilliant. But I also hear you crying out, Pete, I hit amazing shots all the time. What if this line doesn't apply to me? Well, let me give you Advanced Tiger Technique 101. Let's say we're in here, you've got to the ball, you've gone through your visualization, you've given up to the chaos which is golf, and you hit a much better one. It's just how you picture it, and you're delighted with the result. Now what Tiger would do, up to his finish, club twirl, tap of the toe. Now what happens then is he is banking that good shot. And once you walk past this line, which is no longer red, but green, you make the promise to yourself, oh, that was an amazing shot. Try and imagine how it felt. Try and draw those feelings in. And then after the round, just with a notebook, write down exactly the shot. So I was 50 yards away. I hit it, the wind caught it, drifted it to the left, it stopped, span towards the hole. None of this actually happened on that particular shot, but you get what I mean. And you write down all those details in a little journal. And when you get on the golf course, or you're in a similar position, you can remember that shot a lot more clearly. Oh, I remember the last time I was 50 yards out. Oh, what was that shot? Oh yeah, oh, get that feeling. And you're going to approach that shot with a lot more positivity, because I guarantee every single golfer will know what I'm talking about now. How many times have you been over a shot and thought, oh, I remember when I hit this terribly. I remember on this tee when it went out of bounds. I remember when I dunked it in the water. Ask yourself the question, why are you remembering the bad shots and not remembering the good shots? It's because you didn't leave them behind the line. I will state it again. This is the only thing that you can control. And if you get good at it, you can become a much more consistent golfer. Right guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you do want to check out a little bit more Tiger Woods content, here's a video for you right now. Get down into those comments, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and wallop that like button. We'll see you next time.